Okay, now they're teaching us this. So, this is your train design station, essentially. Things to note, you can change the name of your train. We are currently the Impetuous. There are 2 wagon platforms allowed. We can have up to 2. These are Raflimos. The pets will get access to eventually. We can have 2 Raflimo crew. And we can have 2 loot catchers, which is another thing they're going to show us here shortly. We can pick next car and previous car once we have more cars. And then down at the bottom, we can add a wagon if we have one of these kind of orange work boxes. We can build a module. We can upgrade, which is the blue one that they just gave us. So, and you can also click on these individual entries. These are the attached tools for the wagon. So that's the the trolley handle, etc. That's the horn. This is where we could install a ram onto the front of the train, but we don't have access to that yet. Things like that. So, they gave us this upgrade wagon, so we'll go ahead and select that.
An engineer.
That has added another platform to the section. We don't have enough for this option, which would do... It's kind of... So, I forget what they call them. There's like a segment, and then a segment can have, I think, up to 4 sections. And then you'd have a new segment, and that could be upgraded to 4 sections, etc. So what we've done is we've added a section to this first segment. So if we hit build a module, these are the things we could build, but we've already got all these. Later, we'll be able to mix and match and change things out how we want. That's pretty much all we needed to do at the moment. So you can see here, if I want to do another wagon upgrade, it's going to take 2 of the bars and 2 of the gears. So, yeah. Don't need you. Yep, don't need you. So we have enough materials. We can probably do that. So we're going to need more bars. I've got none crafted currently. There we go. Let's see. Give me the bars. Give me that. We might... Nah, we got enough extra fuel. I'm going to leave the rest of that for the moment. I only have 10. Let's do 5 more fuel, 5 more bars. Oops, 4 more, 3 more bars. Forgot they're 2 each. And then we'll get the gears going. We'll do an upgrade. Alright, we're up to 3. I believe we can do 1 more if I can get... Oh, and see it's increased the requirements. Now it's 2 bars, 2... I always forget what they call that. I call them pistons. And 2 springs. I don't think we have the pistons unlocked yet, so we're kind of stuck here. That's more space than I can really do anything with right now anyway, so I'm not going to build that out any further. So we're basically done here with this section. Alright, before I can build on these, though, I need to put the wooden flooring down. So... let's grab the rest of that. Go to the build menu. Pick flooring. And this does snap, so it's really quick and easy to do. Alright. Oops, these last ones are blue because they didn't fully build. These are just the ghost images. It's waiting for me to have more wood, so I used up all the wood. It takes 2 per. We ran out. Yeah, none left, so we'll have to go gather some more wood for that. Let's go ahead and put stuff away. Let's talk about this. So the research desk here, if we go to add points, you'll notice here blue sample. So you'll find these samples when you're exploring these kinds of locations, and I think sometimes they'll drop from enemies we'll eventually be fighting. As far as I know, the only point to these is giving you research points, so they're worth 10 points each. So we'll go ahead and add those to our list. I'm gonna keep the fat. I've got enough chemicals. I'm gonna go ahead and donate the chemicals. Yeah. Alright, so our current inventory is full, but that now gives us enough for the rack. Not going to worry about the decor. We already got everything there, so we're moving on to number 5, which is the loot catcher's nest. That's the next train buddy that has a particular function. We need 15 points. We've got 13. Let's feed it, I think, more chemicals. That's what I need the least of at the moment. The core items, I don't care. And that moves us on to section 6, which is the garden. It needs 15, as well as the demolisher, which gives us a chance to get more resources back if we demolish furniture instead of just moving it around. I'm not too worried about that right now. What I want to get to as quick as possible, and I hope to get to before we reach the end of this next track section, is level 10. Level 10, we get the leather suit, which then lets us attach armor plates to it for protection and fighting, as well as that armor plate. Oh, that's 9. And then 10 is the important one, the grappling hook. I try to speed run to 10, and also the backpack. So number 10 is really the super important one. And that also gets us container 2, which has more slots available. So that's my hope. If I can just get that done and get the other things we unlocked built, I'll consider it a very successful section of track. Alright, I think that's where I will stop for the moment. We'll try to get a bunch of wood. We'll get a frame up so we can get the double stack of storage and expand our storage out nicely. We've got a ton of space now, so I can start to move this stuff around and it won't be so cramped. But the way you leave the station is just unpop the brake. As soon as you release the brake, you go shooting out of the station. I don't think there's anything left for us to do. I can't do the train upgrades more, or I don't want to. Yeah, we're all set. I talked at the very beginning that the game is absolutely narratively incomprehensible and schizophrenic. Do not look for any logical consistency with anything. Just shut your logical functions in your mind down and go with the flow. Enjoy the void. Alright, let's grab this stuff. We're still safe. It hasn't introduced any enemies that we need to worry about yet. We do now have this option. Uh-oh, that's going to be too far and I don't have the grappling hook yet. Yep, it's going to be just out of reach. So close. Oh, we're just like a foot away. Oh well. I knew that was a possibility when I started shooting when they got that far. I think that's everything in reach currently. But keep moving. Drop items. Oh, it's so nice just to be able to press that button. Now we're running into stack limitations, though. That's alright. Come here, wood. I'm debating focusing all my attention on research unlocks, because the grapple hook speeds things up tremendously. So I might just grab all this stuff and immediately dump it into research instead of building things out, just to get the grapple hook as quick as possible. Oops. I will need to make another box or two, though, before anything else. Hello. The hell was that? I don't think I got close to that thing. More lumber, please. Couple of seeds. Well, let me swim straight up while I'm over the platform. Bad platform, bad. Drop me again. It's such an odd problem to have. The platform gravity keeps yanking me. I know I missed a metal back there. Oh well. I hate it when the resources are directly over the platform. Moving buildings. Go away message. I'll go that. Oh man. Oh man. I let the train get ahead of me. Why is the train going faster?
Can you see it too? Or am I hallucinating already?
Oh, that's probably why. Come on, let me on the train. It took control of my train and made it faster. That's why I was falling behind. I think that's all I can do. So, yeah. First things first, get this finished up. Alright, now that we've got that taken care of. Clear up some of my inventory slots. I think I'll just keep it like that for now. Alright, so we got our platforms done. We're making some more iron, which is what we're going to need the most of, other than wood. We're at what? 8 out of 15. I don't think I'm going to need a lot of chemicals, and we're going to keep coming across it. Go ahead and donate the rest of those for now. And this next level done. That takes 10. I've only got 3. I don't think I have enough of anything else I want to donate right now. Actually, I could donate... Nah, we should stockpile the seeds. Alright. I think that's it for the moment. Let's go ahead and do what they're asking me here. So, hold F to look closely. They want me to stare at it. It's literally what they want me to do.
Can they see us? Hey!
Draw attention. Sure.
Well, whatever.
Move forward. Alright, here's another new thing. That is basically a resource node. It has hit points. Take about 4 to 5 shots usually. Breaks up, and there's going to be a handful of resources in the middle of that. More and more track elements will start to be added as we progress. Two wood and a metal. Don't think we're going to be able to get much resources on the right side without a grappling hook. It's all too far. So we'll concentrate on the left side. Hiding some resources behind those. Naughty, naughty. Okay, let's do the moving things. So if we go into the N menu, you can see on the bottom right corner it has a hammer with an N below it. That is a menu system whereby you can move things. I can then hit G to relocate, and it will let me move it wherever I want. R to rotate it, whatever orientation I'd like. And let's do it that direction. All right, let's go ahead and put you right here. Let's see, actually, do I want the smelter first and then these? I'm going to try to leave this first section here fairly clear. Make this kind of my production area for now, and then back here we'll do some of the pet stuff and food stuff. Yeah, let's do that there, and we'll move you to this spot, and move you, and it will relocate all the items. You don't have to empty the chest or anything, which is awesome. Oh, actually, I want to put you wherever. Let's switch over to the build menu, the B key. I want to make a rack. Right there. What do I need? I need a metal bar and I need a gear. So, for that, I need you. Oh, bolt. Bolt is what I need. Then we can go back into the end menu, relocate, pop it right in. New quest survival. We'll get to that. Then I'm going to tell it to build another box there. And let's see. Let's change you to raw mats. And we'll leave you gray. Change you to miscellaneous mats for now. Make you kind of a bluish color. Why are you... Oh, I didn't pick a symbol. Oh, we'll use that one for miscellaneous, I guess. Alright, so raw. Oh, that one's already full. Pull that. Pull those. That's fine. There. Alright, I'd like to get at least one more of these in. Oh, actually, I kind of meant that to be over here. So, let's go back to that end menu. And then relocate. And hallelujah, everything goes with it. Oh, that is so nice. That is so nice. I go from complaining about this game mightily 2 years ago to wishing that all the other games I played did that simple movement. Where I don't have to unload everything and then move it and then refill it and so on. It just instantly goes. And it gets even easier a little later. Eventually we will be able to craft out of containers. I won't have to grab things. But we need to get to the pet stage where we collect Reflimos. And then if I put a pet worker on this workbench, I'll be able to go in here and the pet will basically go grab all the materials from the nearby boxes as I need them. So basically you get to craft from containers at that point. Alright, I think there's a limit to, it only works, I don't know if it only works on this small area here, or if it's the entire section. I'm not sure the rules on the distances for the material usage. We'll find out later. Alright, so, inventory's empty. We got some bars, And we've got a little bit of raw material. I need more. Now we've got a bit of storage space. Let's go ahead and get this thing going again. Continue our journey. Now that we got that done, I can look at the technology stuff and upgrades. I'm really hoping to push to level 10 before this track session's out. Oh, missed one. Gonna get it. We got a while before we have to get to the other stuff. Track's starting to diverge away, and we'll start being able to get resources on the right side again here in the not too distant future. So it's a bit of a juggling game. You don't want to overstock. Oh man, I missed a wood. You don't want to overstock your boxes. Just take extras and start processing it. Cut down on the clutter and free up space. You hiding anything back here? Nope. Not this time. Yeah, the fish are coming back. I hear you, space whale. I can't see you this time. I know you're out there. Oh, nope, that's not him. Next thing I need to get up is the treasure. Dang, I forget the name of it. Should do that sooner rather than later. Oh, I haven't been collecting my water either. Alright, we'll grab this batch of resources, then we're going to stop again. I think I have enough resources to get a few more things built. Yeah, I forgot I haven't been collecting my water. It's been maxed out on the capacity for a while now. In you go. Okay. I forget what I'm going to need, so we'll just grab all that. Give me all the things. So, build menu. What I want is this thing here, Loot Catcher's Nest. So I'm going to need bolts, copper wire, and I've got one of those. So bolts and copper wire. Copper wire. It's almost time to build a second workbench too, so I can have multiple things going at once. Oops, full inventory. I can't stack. I don't think I need you. But went the wrong way with that. Alright, down this way. Build Loot Catcher's Nest. We're going to build it on this side of the train in this back section. I'm going to move my water gen. Alright, so Loot Catcher's Nest. This guy is basically an automated worker that you have to feed water to power, and he will pop out and grab resources on his own as the train travels. And he'll store it in this little basket down here. So it's an automated way of gathering resources as you travel. And you can have 2 of these total in this first train section. Later we'll be able to increase the number of these we're allowed. So I want to build 1 more of these, and I'll easily be able to keep it operating with just 1 water condenser. And then I also want to get a couple of garden plots started for the seeds to generate food. And I think we can run 2 of the flute catchers and maybe 2 gardens with just the water this will produce and stay about even. So, we're going to go ahead and hit F to refill. You can see the little container here filled with water. He's got a certain number of uses before he taps out, and there's also a lockout timer in between when he goes out and grabs something. So you just got to run back every once in a while, grab the loot, refill his water, and he'll just keep working for you. Oh yeah, occasionally they'll put blockers behind your train so you can't backtrack infinitely. Alright, so ideally I'd like 1 more of these. I'm going to need the full medley of those parts now. Bolts, gear, and wire again. So, bolt. Gear. And wire. So with me out front of the train grabbing stuff, usually I'll catch most things, but occasionally just things do slip by, and then these guys will play cleanup, hopefully, and grab the stuff that I miss. That's the goal, anyway. $14 more seconds. I don't need to wait. We've got water. Alright, here we go. They are all set to operate. Still sitting on a pretty good amount. Let's fire this back up. I can do 5 bars with what we got. Yeah, let's leave all that there for now. I'll leave the odd stuff in that one. Alright, inventory's clear. We got those going. Let's go ahead and plot out the other stuff. So I do want some gardens. We'll put gardens on the far side here. I think 3 will be enough for now. So I need 2 wood and 2 bolts for each of those. I have the wood and we can make the bolts. So, need 4 bolts. Awesome. What else is on the list? Don't have the kitchen up yet. Kitchen we'll put down here at the end of the train, I think. And for that, another bolt, copper tube, and a gear. Ran out of copper. One, 2 more bolts total. It's copper tube, not copper wire. Copper pipe. Alright, I think that'll finish everything. Cool. Alright, let's talk about a few things. So, these, you know, we haven't started using them yet. They'll get moving when we get traveling again. So, the garden stuff. Pretty straightforward. We just need water, we need seeds, and that's about it. Later, you can do fertilizer or compost or something. I'm just going to need E to plant a seed from my stockpile. So we used 3 of my 6 seeds. Then we're going to water it with E. So I've still got a couple of water left. And then we wait 460 seconds, and these will be ready to harvest. I don't have any fertilizer to add in. I don't know if fertilizer just speeds up the growth or if it changes it in some way, like output or whatever. There was another option for special seeds. I think that gives you a weird plant that gives you another type of resource, like the wood or the iron or scrap metal, things like that. All right, that's how that works. So when these are ready, they're going to generate organics. We use organics to cook food, grilled organics. So it's just genericized as organics. This provides 10 food value once we grill it. I think it's the same as water, where the raw organic is 5 and the grilled organic is 10. And we can also boil the water to increase its value. And that's all the only choices we have currently at this early stage. And it does require fuel, so we need to feed it firewood for now, essentially, in order to do these. That's it. So we're basically waiting on this stuff. I got to remember to keep stockpiling the water before it maxes out the capacity. And we have got everything processed and harvested currently. And put that back away. Fill that back up and sort it. And get this train moving again. Too far out. Oh, I thought I had a second one for just a second there. I don't remember, was there a chemical right there? Oops, see that guy just poured it out to grab something, and then he put it back in the box there. So they're doing their job. I need to get back out ahead of the train. Get looting. Now that I've got all that infrastructure done, everything else I gather I think is going to go into fueling research, trying to get us to 10. I'd like to get one more double box setup going too. We're still a little light on storage capacity. But most of the things I can either feed into the firewood to run machinery or process into the bars and the devices we need if I need to free up space. So it's always a good idea to pull into the station at the end of a track section with resources, though, in case you need to pay for train upgrades. Touche, my dude, touche. Just love when they appear right before. So we got scrap metal, 3 chemical, and 2 wood off of those guys. And then we'll just tap the F key to refill their water levels. Tap the F key and the F key, and then get back out in front of the train. I don't think we missed too much with those guys popping in and out behind me. Oh, we're coming up on the end of a section again. Don't think I'm quite going to have enough to make it to the grapple hook I was hoping to get to. I forget what level we're at. It's possible we'll loot enough in the depot area to finish it, though, before we head out to the next track section. Whoa, way down here. Guess we're further out than I thought. No, we're getting there. Alright, now I can start to see it. Yeah, it's kind of hiding behind that little foggy area there. There it is. I think I will wait until after we get into the depot. Because the grapple hook won't do me any good in the depot generally. So it's better to hold on to the raw materials in case we need them for train upgrades. That might be more important before we hit the next section. That it? No more raw materials? I don't see any. $15. Apparently we have maxed out our storage. We have maxed out our storage. Alright, nah, let's let it run through. We're fine. Hey, hey, hey! Alright, there's our organics. Might need my gun.
I see. Can't expect a warm welcome. That's a shame.
Alright. Nobody here? Cool. So, we have 3 grilled organics. And these have, as it notes over here, a food value of 10. So, I currently have no food, so we're just going to go ahead and eat these by pointing at them and tapping E. That gets us a little bit. If I grab some wood, we can process some more of this. And we'll grab the rest of our seeds. Get another batch going. I'm not sure I can keep up with the water needs of both the garden and these two off of one condenser. We might need a second one. But that's done for a while now. Alright. Keep a hold of those. There we go. Inventory's empty. What are we sitting on? Let's process those two. Let's do a little more copper. Then we'll do the rest. Iron bars. Then we'll head out and explore this place. Fine. Alright, that'll give us a pretty good amount. Let's go exploring. So they want me to go that way, that symbol. I'm gonna go this way first, of course. This is ammo. And ammo is a little weird. They're not showing my ammo... Oh, there we go. These are my ammo quantities. There's 4 types. And they don't show an inventory. They get stockpiled down here in this super special secret pocket area. And you're limited on how many you can carry. Once you hit the max, you can't pick up any more, which is just all sorts of weird. This is a temporary storage depot while you're here in the train depot. So it has 2 pages. Make sure you realize that, because later it might be important to know that there's actually 2 pages here. It's a place to temporarily stockpile items while you're in the depot. So if your train inventory is completely full and you're looting things, you can come over here, dump things temporarily into this box, and then before you pull out, you want to make sure you come back and you grab out whatever you want to take out of the train station with you, and just leave behind any of the junk you either don't care about or you don't have the capacity to carry with you. More ammo. And now we're full. So we've hit max inventory on that one. I don't know all the names. So it won't let me pick up any more. It's just weird. It's just an artificial limit to how much ammo you have for the different combats, so they can try to keep things balanced, I guess. But it just feels weird. Alright, nothing else to interact with in here. So, this is a trade device. We can trade 2 scrap metal for 3 chemicals. We can trade 3 wood for 3 metal. We can trade 2 scrap metal for a leather. Or 2 chemicals for a wood. The only one I would care about would be the leather. This is harder to get a hold of. This comes off the fish very rarely. So it's hard to stockpile these. Scrap metal we come across pretty commonly, so I probably am going to go grab some scrap metal and trade in for as many of these leather pieces. But these other ones we can just get naturally in mass. I'm not worried about those. I think that's the only other thing back here. Oh yeah, and the slot machines. You have to have tokens for slot machines. We'll probably get some tokens on the other side of the depot. But you feed tokens in and it shows you the payouts up top. So that very top one, 1 4-leaf clover, XX. I think that's wood or scrap metal, I believe, and that's 2 wood or scrap metal. That's 2 bars, 1 metal, 1 iron, 1 copper, etc. Now there is a dangerous one right there. The 2 skulls will drop a bomb on the ground right here. So you gotta be, when you operate this, you want to operate it from a little bit of a distance and back up the instant you see one of these skulls appear. So yeah. Shows you the payouts. You just feed it tokens as you get them. Alright, that's it for this side. Nothing interactable. Raw materials and some research points. Well, I know what you are, but we won't get to use you yet. Alright, I think we're full on all 3 of the basic types, 150, 60, and 240. This is a more specialized ammo we're not going to find a lot of. I forget what they're called. Alright, that's it. So, this is going to be a bit of an arena with some bad guys to fight. It's, again, like I said, narratively dissonant, weird, but you'll commonly encounter these in these kinds of depots, and, you know, we'll shoot guys that are shooting at us. I see you running over there. Hey there. They're coming for me. Shoot the red things. Headshots do double damage, so I'm doing 35 base for body shots and 70 for headshots. And they are dropping things. Blew his helmet off. Not gonna bother to ADS. I shoot better without aiming down the sights. Alright, I think that's everybody.
What's that sound? Is there someone else in here?
Back when I played originally, they were all Nazis. They were all Nazis. It was stormtroopers everywhere. Not the Star Wars stormtroopers. But apparently sometime during the development, the developers, I think, moved to another nationality, and it was frowned upon to have the Nazis run around in the game. So they did a retcon, retrofit, conversion, changeover, and now it's just generic whoever's, and all of the other paraphernalia and regalia is gone. So, you know, part of the schizophrenic nature of the narrative elements is due to that kind of stuff. The entire beginning of the game, the little storyline thing, was totally different too, with you being chased into the weird building by soldiers. All right, I don't want to go in there quite yet. Keep grabbing stuff. So that is an altar. That comes into play later. When you start finding treasure chests at a later time, you bring the chest to that kind of thing and you put it on top of that, and it allows you to unlock it for your loot. No function currently for us. Alright, I think that's it.
Once again, a self-made trolley, small with armed, motives unclear, presumably linked to the personnel has been eliminated on post number. Permission granted to open fire to kill. Over and out.
Okay.
We're connected to someone. We got here on a scientist trolley, through his portal. We're using his notes. We're following his trail. Maybe that's who they're talking about.
All right, leave the depot. Our last option. So we don't have one of those train adjustment consoles in this one. So we're pretty much done. Looks like in the meantime, our organics finished up. We've got a little bit of fuel. Let's go ahead and grill up some organics. I got 4 of them done. And again, I'm just going to eat all this stuff. That food bar built back up. Almost got it maxed out. All right. Keep you guys filled. I don't. I only have 2 seeds. 3 seeds. Alright, one more batch until we gather some more seeds. Oh, ran out of water. Alright, that's the last of my seeds and the last of my water. So, we picked up some chemical waste. So, in a lot of the recipes, you'll notice there's 2 different gear symbols here. This one has a recycling symbol on it. This is for stuff that you'll loot. So, there's iron junk for these kinds of things. There's another table where you'll do chemistry-related stuff, and that chemical here can be used in basically in replacement of the chemicals here. So you'll notice that in a bunch of the different stations. Just realize there's 2 different versions of the recipe. There's the version that uses the standard stuff, and then there's a version that uses looted stuff from enemies. Alright, what else? We got research points. Let's hit the research table here. Get those added in, these blue samples. We picked up a gun part. I'm not going to get into details on the gun parts, but there's an entire system for it. I don't have the armory bench set up yet to be able to utilize these, and they're found in different rarities. The gray border around this one indicates it's the lowest rarity, and I don't care about that. I'm just going to throw it on the ground, and it'll slide off the back of the train. It's just going to clutter up my inventory, and I'm never going to use it anyway. We'll get into that stuff a little bit later. Alright, anything else? We'll store that here for now. Keep these in inventory. I don't need leather. Give me the other mats so I can figure out what else we want to do. Alright, for the journal, we are now being told to leave the depot for our main quest section. Water source, prepare... Oh, I haven't boiled any water yet. We should do that once. And then research the lab 1, which is where the chemistry stuff happens. So, alright, let's grab some water. Let's boil some water. Just one's fine. And we're thirsty enough, we'll go ahead and drink it. Alright, so that's off the list now. Now we're just down to the build lab 1. Or research it, I mean. Research it or build it? Did we do the lab already? Don't remember. That's the research. That's the workbench. Kitchen. We haven't done the lab yet. Alright. So, where are we? Lab 1? Lab 1. So this is 7. I was hoping to get to 10. We're definitely not going to get to 10 this section. Hopefully next track section. I had a lot of infrastructure I had to build. So you're requiring 10. We've got 30. So research that. Research the bandage and research the... I'm going to wait on this one. Table dance on the boat. Yeah, I don't need that one quite yet. Alright, so we got 13 points left. We can move on to 8. That gives us the armory, where we can do the weaponry modification and repairs. Also unlocks the ammo box, so we can craft a box of ammo that gets us a small amount of, I think, 3 of the ammo types, the main 3. And then some music, which we don't need. Then we get the suit and the armor plate, and then finally what I'm mainly aiming for, which is a grapple hook and backpack. Alright, so we just need to keep plugging away at it. Do we have the materials? What are we going to need? Lab 1. Let's put the lab... Let's see. What I want to do is put another workbench or 2 over here. I'm going to need more storage. I think I'll put the lab here for now. We'll move it later. Get it off this front, what I consider the engine compartment. We just need copper wire and a spring. We should be able to do that. Copper wire. I'm going to go ahead and put down the image for another bench. It's going to drive me crazy. And I got it backwards. And Relocate. Really, I just want to rotate you. Alright, now I can get two things working simultaneously. So, we got the wire. What else did I need? Spring! Alright. That'll finish that up. So, here's the lab. Lab lets us turn chemicals into fat, turn chemicals into unstable chemicals. There's the version that uses that item we looted, the chemical waste version, and then also chemical waste for the fat. So right now, just fat and unstable chemicals. More stuff will get added later. Alright, what else? Craft bandages at the workbench and pick it up. 0 out of 2. Alright, so they want a couple of bandages. So, workbench, bandage, we need leather, and we need unstable chemicals. So, we need to do a couple of these. Go ahead and grab that. Gotta add fuel, which is going to be our limitation right now. And we'll need the very limited amount of leather that I've got. Bandages obviously heal you. And they use a different menu system I'll show you here in just a bit. Yeah, that thing, the item wheel. Alright, so if you press and hold the Q key, it brings up the menu, the item wheel menu. And you can then use your mouse cursor to tell it what you want to have in this little space, where it says Q and hold Q. So I'm holding Q to get the selector. Once you have something selected, you can just quick tap Q, and it'll automatically fire off that thing in the circle down there. So other things that'll show up there is armor plates. I forget the other things, but that and armor plates are the two main things I'll be switching between semi-regularly once we get the suit. But that's how it works. Just hold Q to get the selector. Once you've selected, then just tap Q, and it'll use that item. Journal, where are we at? So, survival again. Use the bandages. We're not injured. I don't know if it'll let me. We're full health because our health regen from our food setting has got us full. So we'll let that one slide. I definitely need another storage though. So let's see if we have the materials for that. Rack first. Missing a bolt. Give me 3 bolts. Because I'm also going to want to make the boxes. I didn't need the bolts of the boxes. I just need the metal and the wood. We have just enough, and then we're going to have to take off again. Okay, let's spread things out a little further. Let's see. Give me the finished materials.